Hey everybody, what is up? It's your good friends Cory Camp and Brian McGill back at you for another What's Up Wednesday. Cory, how you doing today?
Well, I was just telling you, you got to bring the excitement for me today because I have not had my coffee yet.
Yeah.
We had to do a last minute schedule change and come at everybody 30 minutes earlier this morning than usual, just to accommodate Naema, our special guest. And the product team is really busy rolling out all the new things this week, and so we had to move around our schedule a little bit. So that means I have not had my morning coffee yet. It's still brewing. And I'm a little tired today.
I'm in the same boat. I mean, I usually ask people fist of five how many cups of coffee they have, and I'm at zero.
Yes. Yes. Well, and I bet you're tired because you were traveling all yesterday evening. You and I were kind of chatting back and forth about some exciting things, and you were like in the airport running around, a little jet setter. So
I got to connect through Detroit on my way back to Pittsburgh from Austin. And in Austin, I got to meet some of our new partners with CirQlive. And then we also got to connect with our good friend, Dr. Justin Bader of the Principal Center, because we hosted a really great panel for essentially a lot of district leaders considering how Sibme might be, useful to some of their district strategies for improving student gains. Some of that was staying at the top. Some of it was, rising up. So, anyways, essentially, or just adding efficiency to the way teachers learn at work. I thought the big guy, Dave, did a really great intro. We'll talk about that later, but we had a really great conference. It was really good to see some of the Sibme folks and see a lot of our friends at the TASA Midwinter Conference.
Yeah, and that's a good conference. I'm a Texan, and so even though I'm now here in Ohio, I still got my Texas roots. But I used to go to TASA Midwinter, and then there was a women's leadership conference that usually happened, I think, the day before that I was a member of. Good people are at that conference. I saw a lot of my colleagues and friends were there this week. So that's awesome. How do you know how the iguana situation's going down there in Florida?
I don't think any iguanas were injured in the essentially the execution of dropping temperatures in the state of Florida. So I think everything's good, and keep on and carry on.
Yep. Yeah. I heard of wrote a story about a guy who was collecting the iguanas and bringing them back to his place to warm them up. So I guess his house is full of iguanas now. Kind of crazy. But we've got a great show today. So let's jump into that news. We are super excited. So last week we talked about all the video enhancements that were coming to everybody's huddle. This week, we're talking about some really cool. You mentioned our new friends, CirQlive. Our partnership with them brings some really exciting features into the Sibme platform, as well as something we've been wanting to get up and running for a couple of years now. And we finally have, it's made it to the top of the roadmap and it's coming out. And these will not be updates that everybody will have. We're beta testing some of these because they're pretty big things, and we'll have Naema talk a little bit more about that. But we are beta testing some of them with some key customers who have signed up for that, and so it's going live for them. But more to come on how you can get these things in a huddle near you. But we do want to share that. So let's bring in Naema from our product development team. Welcome, Naema.
Hi, Cory. Hi, Brian. Thanks for accommodating my schedule.
Yeah,
again.
Yeah. Of course.
It's always good to see you.
What time is it there where you are? Is it like 6 in the morning?
No, it's 7:30 at night. Yeah, 7:30 p.m.
See, I'm really bad at time zones.
I've had my coffee.
That's what I was looking at the message you sent this morning about changing it, and it came to me at 4 in the morning, which is why I was doing the math wrong. So you're going to talk with us about a couple of really exciting updates. What do we want to start with first, Naema?
Let's start first with CirQlive.
All right, here we go. So I'll share the screen.
Yes. So basically, I'll just let you know what CirQlive is. We have a partnership with them, and what basically a user can do is they can create a huddle. I created it for this particular demo, and they have this additional tab in that huddle that we did not have before. So, in addition to artifacts and discussions, you will now see a conferences tab where you can see meetings that have already been scheduled. Now, since there aren't any scheduled meetings at the moment, you don't see any here. But if there are, you'll be able to see them after scheduling them over here. So this is how you go about it. You can schedule one, you can quick launch anything except, you can work your way around the whole thing. So my role here is as a teacher, so I can schedule them, but if you go in as a student, you can join a meeting. You can't schedule it. So that's the gist of what we can do. Right now, we've integrated it with Zoom, but we're going to move on to other platforms where you can collaborate in a huddle via conferences, etc.
Yeah. So what that means then, and this is especially important, maybe not for our teams who are kind of all under the same roof, right? They're able to pop into a room together and have a PLC meeting or meet with the teacher. But for those who are geographically dispersed, like, for example, our virtual coaches here at Sibme who never step foot on a campus or in the teacher's classroom, it's all done virtually. This will allow them to, when they have those synchronous meetings or those face-to-face virtual meetings, we typically use Zoom as our key platform, but there's also CirQlive will allow us to integrate with, tell me if I'm wrong, Blue Jeans, which is another web conferencing platform, and WebEx or GoToMeeting.
Yes.
Which one? Yes. Okay. So, all of those. So, some of those bigger names in that, but this will allow them to schedule those and hold those meetings directly in the huddle, right? So everything's all happening there. That's also a common kind of confusion. I know you've had these conversations, Brian, when you were working on the sales team. People would think that that's kind of what our platform initially was this place for a coach and a teacher to come and meet, for a web conference meeting. And we haven't done that in the past. So this brings that tool to us. So for all of our consulting organizations, our ESCs, even those district, I know when I was a district coordinator, I had the best of intentions to get to a campus, and then a meeting would run over, or I'd get a parent phone call and it would tie me up, and then my travel time was gone. And so it was like, well, if I show up now, I'm not going to have enough time to observe in the classroom or to meet with that person. So I need to reschedule it. This would have allowed me to keep that meeting and just make it a virtual meeting, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I can see a lot of like teacher preparation programs where, like out in California, where the supervisors want to meet more of the, face to face, but they're not going to get, they're not going to spend a lot of time in traffic on the 5. Some teachers maybe submitted an observation, but they want to have a conversation about it. Mm-hmm. I think that this is going to bridge a lot more of the supervisors and teacher preparation folks in the field. So
definitely. It's going to be a really exciting feature. So that one, if you see that conferences tab, this is one. So tell me if I'm correct, Naema. We might have everybody seeing the conferences tab in their accounts, but there's an integration. You have to connect your web conferencing with it. So if you're interested in trying this out, contact us or contact your customer success manager or your account executive for more information about how you can kind of get that set up. So, okay.
And there's one more thing, actually. So when you schedule a meeting and you're done with it, you can also record it and keep it on your Sibme platform if you do it on a cloud basis.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we've had some questions about that. Will allow me to record those. So then our meetings are also recorded for us to look back on. I know when I was being coached as a teacher, and even now, sometimes I'll talk about things with my coach or my mentor, and then I'm kind of like, oh, what did we talk about? I didn't write down the notes. So it'd be great to have those recorded in there. We're going to start using them here at Sibme for our Monday morning meetings that we have. The whole team across everywhere comes together via Zoom, and we're going to start holding them in a huddle and recording those so we can, if you missed it, you can catch up with it later on. So that's pretty exciting stuff. So then let's talk about, and we're not going to do a demonstration for this one because we're already using our camera, so it won't allow us to do a live stream, but tell us about Sibme Live. And Brian, I know you're excited about Sibme Live because you've got some people who are really wanting this. So tell us about it.
Yeah, Sibme Live is actually a very exciting feature that's we're releasing to beta customers that you just said, select clientele. And what it's going to allow us to do is live stream a lecture or something, a session basically. And you can do it via your mobile phones at the moment, so iOS, Android. And you can live stream it. You can view comments in real time. You'll be able to, according to the package that you have, simultaneously run several live streams at one time, and how many you can run in one package. And then you can even record those and save those in your huddles, in those respective huddles. So that's the gist of it. This is available in both coaching and collaboration huddles. So we're introducing that feature. Right now, all of the videos in our huddles are basically pre-recorded, but this will allow us to interact in real time. We'll be able to see things happening in real time. We'll be able to monitor comments, etc., everything. So everything will be happening
without having to be in the room, right? So we have what we call synced notes right now, which allows me when I go into the room where I want to, observe the meeting or the lesson happening, I can set up my camera and then I can open up my laptop and type my notes live, right? So I'm able to script live, but I have to be in there to see what's happening because it's being captured here. This will allow me to view that recording live from another location, which is exciting.
We have a lot of folks that have that type of use case. I mean, in Georgia and down in Texas, that essentially they would rather everybody just kind of be at their desk, kind of get a more authentic observation, even, and do it live. And then also be able to tie in colleagues from around the district to do a lesson study. And they used to have to go to the district office to go and watch this live. Well, now everybody could just go to their desk. They can go with their laptop to the teacher's lounge and, essentially, attend that live session there. So this is going to be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about, again, like you said, those higher eds who they've got to travel to do an in-person observation, this could supplement that and save you on that travel time. I know when I was working at a regional service center, we had 76 school districts, and our region spanned hours wide down there in Texas. And so I would get up at 3 a.m. just to travel down to Corsicana, be ready to get there by, before school started so I can meet with my teachers and then start my rounds of observations. This would have saved so much time. I'm also loving that this is going to be in collaboration huddles as well. I'm thinking about your buddy Mike, Brian, who does pineapple charts, right? Exactly. He's got the pineapple chart on his campus. We took that, helped them make that virtual through Sibme. So people, they still have their pineapple chart, they're come observe me, check out what's happening. But you could either go in there live and just be in person, or the teacher recorded their lesson and then later uploaded it. Well, now you could just, you don't have time to make it across the campus. You can just view it from your desk live in that collaboration huddle. So that's pretty exciting. I'm really excited about this. So again, reach out to your customer success manager, your account executive, or just ask if this is something that meets your needs and you're not yet a Sibme customer, to get hooked into this new and exciting feature. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to have some good things. I also know that sometimes the dynamics of a classroom changes because there's another adult in the classroom, right? I worked in special education, and sometimes when our LSSP would come to observe a student, or we were doing some evaluation work, especially when we were looking at behaviors, that student's demeanor changed completely. They knew they were being observed and evaluated, but it's less intrusive to have just that camera set up in there. And so they can still view that, still kind of make those notes live without having to physically be in that classroom and change a little bit of those dynamics. So that's exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to know about CirQlive or Sibme Live, this live streaming?
I think that's basically the gist of it. Everything that I just explained. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay, awesome. Brian, do you have anything else to add? Use cases or questions?
I mean, just to reiterate, I mean, just connect with your account executive or call your director of partnerships. He'll make it happen for you.
Yeah. Her director of party. That's you, Brian. Call Brian. Give Brian a call. Definitely let us know. Naema, thanks so much. I know you've got a packed day with the product team. So shout out to y'all for all of the amazing work that you've been doing. It's pretty exciting. This is going to be a great year here at Sibme, and all of the amazing things that are coming. So thanks again for joining us today.
Thanks for having me again.
All right, Brian, here we go. So again, favorite segment of I don't know, this live stuff might be my new favorite thing. You ready for it?
Let's go. Shout outs.
You've got the first shout out today. We said we were going to talk about this a little bit more. So tell us a little bit.
The title of our session, of our luncheon, which had 60 attendees on Tuesday. On Tuesday for lunch. No, it was Monday for lunch. We had it at Cafe Blue. Big thank you to Letty Roman, turnaround principal in Magnolia ISD. Awesome. Dr. Tanya Goree back at it with us from Cypress Fairbanks. Thank you so much for your continued support. Dr. Amy Ellis, Chief Curriculum and Instruction Officer at Rockwall ISD. We're excited about the things that we'll be doing this summer, Dr. Ellis. And then Dr. Jennifer Brock, a longtime friend from Region 4. So we got to have a really nice, I would just say cluster of panelists, folks from different ends of education and different organizations and different perspectives of how this can be helpful to our to our attendees. And I think it was a really rich conversation. And big thanks to Dr. Justin Bader of the Principal Center for coming down and moderating for us. We had a really fun time.
Yeah, it looked like it was great. I was able to catch a little bit of it. TJ went live on our Sibme page. So if you're wanting to kind of catch a piece of that, check out the video that was posted Monday live from that panel discussion. But amazing group of leaders, all of them. So shout out to y'all for getting to just kind of share a little bit of your journeys. That's what we're about. It's really... The easy part is the technology. The hard part is figuring out the best way to implement this so you can really kind of hit the ground running. And so all of those ladies have some great insights. So we've got a repeat offender for our next shout out. I don't know if that's the right term. It's a good thing though. If you're getting a shout out, I mean, that's amazing. We're shouting out again, Hoffman Elementary from Northside ISD. I think they were actually the OG, the original shout out, our very first shout out. We're giving them another shout out. So before it was shout out just for the great kind of kickoff they had. They were converting from a pilot into from a guided trial into a full license with their campus. They just met with Jenny, our customer success manager, who we hope to introduce you all to soon. And they've got amazing engagements. I got to look at my phone to see specifically what she said, but this is huge for like first semester. Again, implementation is the hardest part, keeping this work front of mind, making sure that it's meaningful, that it's tied closely to your instructional priorities can be difficult sometimes, especially depending on the culture on your campus. 92% active users. 65 of the 71 have
Way to
been
go, Hoffman.
active, meaning
Whoa.
they've done more than just logging in, right? They're recording, they're watching, they're commenting, they're replying back to each other. They're really, truly using it as a learning space. So yeah, shout out Hoffman Elementary.
Way to go, guys. Way to go, guys. I hope to see you guys out on the conference circuit this summer. Come on, let's do it.
Oh yeah, good. It's a great group. We enjoy working with them. They were guests on our show a couple of weeks ago, so shout out to them again. Brian, any more news for us this Wednesday?
We're back at it on this hashtag Sibme Roadshow next week down in Atlanta, Georgia. We got a great session with our good friends from Liberty Point Elementary, navigating the jungle of observation and feedback. We will also have representatives from our virtual coaching department. This conference is called the ESEA Conference. That was formerly known as the Title I Conference. Mm-hmm. It's going to be at the Georgia World Center. So we're going to be downtown, uptown, downtown, wherever the action is. So tune in. Let us know if you're going to be at the conference. We'd be happy to sit down with you at the booth and do a little testimonial, go attend some sessions with you, and stay tuned. We might have a little social on next week.
All right. Sounds good, Brian. On my end, look out for our student teaching and video course, which is about to launch. It's in its final stages. I know I've been saying that for a while, but it's been crazy busy on my end here in professional learning department. So we're excited to get that one kicked off. We'll have announcements when it's all official. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll see you next week.
Safe out there, y'all.